what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. We're here to do the Week 18 Beast Picks predictions. Joining me, Rain 48.
That's me.
Yep. And yeah, this is the final regular season game before we got the playoffs out there. And a lot of playoff scenarios and implications are happening this week based on wins and losses of certain teams. Some teams have clinched already, some still trying to get in there. So yeah, it's a very interesting week. We do have the times and schedule dates that they got now because they make us wait until literally the last second to publish these times and dates for each games. What are you looking forward to in this crazy last week?
Monday morning. As a Bills fan, I'm absolutely terrified, so I'm not looking forward to any of this. I'm shitting bricks.
All right. With that being said, the first game that they got going here is the Saturday, June 6th, 4:30 p.m. And that is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens have everything clinched here, obviously in the scenario for walloping the Dolphins last week. They are the number one seed, so they most likely are going to be resting guys.
They
And
already announced Lamar is not playing.
Lamar's not playing. Yep, Huntley will be playing. Huntley will be playing, and then you got the Steelers though, who will be playing because they still have to play for a playoff spot potentially here. So what do they have for the betting odds here?
The Steelers are a 4-point favorite.
All right, so they're going with those odds then. And this is a rivalry too, so I mean it could go either way, regardless. But the Steelers did beat them the last time they played them with the starters there, to note. But interesting scenario here. The Ravens again, not much to play for. They got Huntley in there though. Huntley is a pretty good backup quarterback who I think could be a starter in the future. I've been very high on Huntley as a quarterback. But the Steelers got a lot to play for. Do we know who the Steelers starting quarterback is? It going to be Rudolph?
It's Mason Rudolph again, yes.
Rudolph again. All right, it's gonna be a tough one to see. Um, I'm gonna go with the Steelers to win here, but I think it's gonna be a close battle, classic Steeler Ravens game. We're gonna have a 23-20 victory for the Steelers to possibly get into the playoffs. That's my way I got this going.
So I'm looking it up here, and as of right now, there are only two players who are listed as rest players, and that is Odell Beckham and Lamar Jackson.
Don't forget,
I am going.
Huntley's a good quarterback.
Huntley won them games last year. Huntley made them viable last year when Lamar missed time. That being said, I'm going back to 2005 here. Picture it. The Pittsburgh Steelers benched starters. The Buffalo Bills needed to get into the playoffs. Winning, they're in. Winning, they're in.
Oh, wow.
And they lost. I'm saying Pittsburgh loses.
Way back here.
I'm saying Pittsburgh loses. I'm saying that it's a close game, and I'm saying it's a heartbreaker for Steelers fans. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to flat out say it. Pittsburgh loses. Ravens 20, Pittsburgh 17.
All right. Now next we have the, I guess, prime time Saturday game. We have at 8:15, June 6th. And that is
January 6th, bud.
January 6th, I'm sorry. Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts.
The Texans are a 1.5-point favorite.
And this is, well, there's a lot of scenarios for this one because this one not only
a three-way tie.
This could be not only a possible playoff wildcard spot, this could be a division. The person that wins this game could possibly win the division still. That's still in play here. So they're both going to definitely play. And it is very interesting to note that the Colts and the Texans are actually battling for a possible division crown because I didn't think they would be anywhere near the division. especially the Texans. I thought they would be a year away before contending. And the fact that they have a shot at the division, even a slim chance of the division, I think is very, very surprising in itself. But nonetheless, I think this will be a close game. Do we CJ Stroud's not playing, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's playing? Okay.
Should be.
All right, well, that's good to know. I think the Houston Texans, I think it will be close, but especially if Stroud's playing, I think they have the better advantage in this game. I think the Texans,
Stroud played last week, so
okay, he played last week. Okay.
yes.
All right, so he's back. So, I think the Texans will win. I think it is going to be 26-23.
I'm going with you on that one. I'm going to say the Texans will win as well. The Colts, to me, it's impressive what they've done, but I don't think they're ready for this step yet. Um, you got to think it's going to be an open opportunity for Gardner Minshew somewhere next year with how well he's performed this year. But I definitely don't think that this is the year for them. I'm going to say Houston 27, Indy 14.
Okay. And who did we say was who was the favorites on this?
Houston's a 1.5 point favorite.
Okay, so it's close then. Okay. All right, that's good. So now we go to Sunday games. 1 o'clock. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans. Surprisingly, these again, this game, they're going to be going into this game knowing whether they pretty much have a division lock or not. Well, I think Jacksonville is the favorites anyways, with the division with the tiebreakers, but I think that's better. I think the odds are better for them if the Colts lose. But I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But
Um,
nonetheless, who's the favorites here?
the Jacksonville is a 3.5 point favorite. I guess the biggest concern is if Trevor Lawrence is healthy or not.
Yeah. And Tennessee, while they are not in the playoff hunt, it's pride, it's respect. I
It's
don't know.
division.
Division, yeah, and we don't know where their status of their coach is going to be for next year, so they're going to want to play hard and play spoiler. So I do think the Jacksonville Jaguars will win, but I think it will be a much closer game. I think it's going to be like 17-16. I think Jacksonville just barely get it done and win the division, but very, very close.
All right. I also think Jacksonville wins. I know as a Bills fan, I'm kind of hoping both teams lose. Um, but
Tiebreaker.
but I think Jacksonville gets it done here. I'm gonna go ahead and say 21-13. It's not a pretty game.
Okay. All right, so now the next 1 o'clock game, again, this is January 7th. We have the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions.
The
They just
Lions
played
are
each other recently.
Yep, the Lions are 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, and the Lions, obviously, they got screwed last week by the refs, as we all know, so they're going to be coming up firing. They still have to play because they still have a chance for seeding here, so they are going to be playing. Vikings still have a slim chance to make the playoffs, but they pretty much are done after my Packers beat them last week. And I know you're ready to say something, so what are you saying?
Not just did the Lions get screwed, but I also got screwed on that called back 2 point conversion.
I mean, they they went for it 3 times.
Yeah, but they had it the first
Yeah,
time, and the refs
yeah,
were
I know.
scumbags.
I know, but I'm really surprised they continued going for it after that, like after that point.
Yeah, because you saw it work the first time.
Well, yeah, but it worked the first time, but I mean, to get it again the same way, it's going to be much harder, and we've seen that obviously.
Listen, all I know is I needed an Amon St. Brown touchdown and a Detroit victory. And if St. Brown scored the touchdown that would have won the game, and the refs cost me money. So the NFL refs, you can pay me my money that you owe me.
Yeah. Oh God.
I don't think there's a question here. We said it last week. We'd see
We
how
said the
Minnesota
Lions
does.
Lions were 3-point favorites, right?
3.5. I'm saying Lions dismantle the Vikings. They're going to be pissed. They're going to come out swinging. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my! Lions 45, Vikings 20.
I also think the Lions will win. I think it's going to be 31-13. I got the Lions winning. The Vikings don't have a quarterback right now. It was very apparent last week.
What gave it
They're
away? The fact that they benched him and then had to put him back in because the other guy sucked worse.
yeah. Uh, anyways, yeah, the Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints are at the New Orleans Saints. Who the favorites here?
You said Falcon Saints.
Yep.
The Saints are a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, and a lot of scenarios here. The Saints did surprisingly win last week, and they have a chance to win the division. I don't know if there's a wild card spot in play for them, but they do have a chance to win their division. If they win and the Bucks lose, so they are going to be still playing very hard in this game. But it's all for not if Tampa wins, of course. But
So I don't know if there's a way that the Falcons could could win the division.
oh, Falcons could have a chance to win
The
the division.
Falcons are 7 and
No, no,
9.
no, no. I was not. I was talking about the Saints.
But what I'm saying is the Falcons are 7 and 9, the Saints are 8 and 8, and the Bucks are 8 and 8. Technically, the Bucks have a divisional lead. Green Bay is 8 and 8, so pending tiebreakers, Green Bay, Seattle could also slide in there. Obviously, with a loss, the Saints could lose, but if the Falcons have the tiebreaker, they might be able to win the division. I don't know if that's true or not. So there's a lot going on in that division.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna say the Saints were the favorites, right?
Yes,
they had 3 points,
correct.
3.5. Okay. I'm gonna say the New Orleans Saints do win. They do have a better, in my opinion, they have a better overall team than the Falcons do. So I'm gonna say that they're gonna probably win 27 to 16. That's my pick on that. But I think the Bucks probably win the division, but we'll get to that later.
Um, so like end of the day, in terms of talent, I'd love to take the Falcons because their actual like talent, like receivers, running backs, is better than the Saints have at the moment. However, I don't trust Taylor Heineke or Desmond Ritter. I'm going with the safe pick in the Saints here. 17-14, ugly, ugly game.
All right. Next, we have the New York Jets at the New England Patriots.
In a battle of a snorefest. Pats are a 2-point favorite.
Yeah, I think the Patriots will win this game. This is probably going to be Bill Belichick's last game as a Patriot, as a head coach.
What do you mean? They have the playoff. Oh,
They're playing a shitty Jet team.
I said they have the playoffs, so I was being sarcastic.
Oh, no. But yeah, this probably could be, I mean, everyone keeps talking about it, but at the end of the day, I think this probably will be Belichick's last game as a Patriot head coach. Probably will be a head coach next year for another team, though. But nonetheless, um, I think the Patriots will win the game for a send off for Bill Belichick. I think it's going to be 24 to 13 Patriots.
I want to validate something here, but he for a hot second he was the coach of the New York Jets before he decided to
Yeah, 30 minutes.
resign.
For 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so for that 30 minutes, I think the Jets are going to come back and absolutely kick his dick in. Robert Saleh's not going out with that fight. That team has been spunky all year. They have the better defense of anything you're going to see. I'm going to say the Jets win this one 27 to 3.
Okay. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina dysfunctional Panthers with throwing cups at.
I was going to say, is their owner going to throw drinks this week or no?
He got fined like $300,000, but I think that should go to the fan who got the drink thrown at him.
See, if I'm the fan and I'm not getting paid out like that, I'm calling up David Tepper and going, "Hey, man, I'll go to the league to appeal. I'll tell them that I antagonized you and get thrown out of your stadium. I clearly don't like the Panthers, anyways. You just give me half of that. Give me $150,000. We'll call it okay.
As I was saying, I was like, why don't you just give the fine money to him? He was the one who got suffered from it.
Give me half of that. Don't ask questions. Give me $150,000. I'll tell the league that I deserved it, and then we can go our separate ways. Regardless, the Bucks are 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, like I said, they have been a surprise team. I'm surprised they lost to the Saints last week, but I do think they get it done against obviously the shitty Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are a shitty team, like I thought, and it just proves how terrible our defense is on the Packers front because they allowed 30 points on a team that can't do shit. And outside of us, we were the only team that allowed 30 points against this team. And made them look like a good team. And then the next week against Jacksonville, they just totally just got shredded 26-0. So it just tells you how Joe Barry is a horrible defensive coordinator. But anyways, um, yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers easily wins. I'm gonna say 27-3. Bucks easily win, and I do think they win their division. Done.
Here's the biggest issue I have. The Bucks defense is unpredictably bad. The Panthers won't be able to run against them. That's the one thing we can predict. The Bucks have a historically good run defense, but their secondary is horrendous. I do think they're going to eke it out because the Panthers really are not good. I'm going to say it's going to be closer than most people would, though. It's 24-21, my advantage. Bucks win.
All right. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals are a 7-point favorite.
Are you reading that right?
Yes.
What?
The Browns are sitting starters.
Oh, they are? I thought they
Yeah.
were.
Flacco won't play.
Really? They still have a chance to get the highest wild card seed.
I think they already have the highest wild card seed.
I don't think so. Not at the really, even if the Bills like win and then they
If the Bills win, the Bills can't go higher than they are,
yeah,
or
but
they
the
can go to
Dol-
second.
so would the Dolphins then be the second wild card seed and not the first wild card because they have the same record as the Browns right now. So if
I
they
don't know, but
lose,
they're benching their starters.
that's interesting because if the Dolphins because Dolphins have 11 wins. So if they lose, then the Browns and them both have the same record. So the Browns would have to then know that they have the highest wild card seed then.
It was released 3 hours ago.
All right. Well, that's okay. You know what? I'm still gonna say the Browns win because the Bengals haven't looked very good since Joe Barry lost. So I'm gonna say the Browns win. I'm gonna say it's 16-13.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns as well. I don't care if it's in Cincinnati. I don't really trust the Jake Browning led offense was fun for the first week, and then tape got out there and he hasn't been as efficient. The Bengals are a dead end street this year. 14-13, the Browns win with a late touchdown.
You said 14-13?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we have 425 games. And the first one, coincidentally, is mine. We got the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers.
The Packers are a 3-point favorite.
Oh boy. If we win this game, we're in because Seattle lost to your Pittsburgh Steelers, and we beat the Vikings. So now we control our own destiny. So this is a win in situation. It's in Green Bay. We have owned the Bears for so many years because we own them, as we all know. But I'm really worried about this game because this is a classic trap written all over it. I am going to say the Green Bay Packers do get it done and get the playoffs. I'm going to say it is 24-17. Go
I have a
Pack,
legitimate
go.
question because I'm blanking on it. Did the Packers make the playoffs last year?
We did not make the playoffs last year because we
Of the
lost.
last loss of the season to
Yeah, we
to
would
the
have gotten in
Lions?
if we had beat them.
Sorry, bud. It happened the same way.
Oh no.
Taking the Bears to knock them off. They're sick of hearing about how you own them. Jordan Love's going to fall apart. It's going to be the first time he looks like real shit all season. I'm going to say the Bears
I
keep
mean, there's been
rolling
a couple games
20.
where he's looked bad, but
Say the Bears keep rolling 24-17, and they eliminate the Packers. Chicago rejoices.
ooh, go Pack, go. Next game we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Commanders.
Well, Dallas isn't benching anybody because they still have to fight for the division.
What's the
They are a
favorites?
13-point favorite.
Yeah, they still got they have a chance to win the division. I don't know what the scenario is right now. Like if they win, they win it, or if the Eagles win it, they win. I don't know what that looks like right now. Because I think they're both tied. Okay,
Um,
Cowboys have
yeah,
11.
they currently have the division though.
The Cowboys have the
The
division.
Cowboys currently have it, so if they
So
win, there
they
it's
win, they
theirs.
get the division. Okay. All right. So yeah, I do think the Dallas Cowboys do win it pretty easily against the Commanders, even though it's in Washington. I think the Cowboys easily get it done. I think it's gonna be 30 to 10. I think Dallas wins this and wins the division, and it helps them obviously over the Eagles.
I'm gonna say 27-21, and I'm only saying 21 for the Commanders because the Cowboys get up and bench their starters in the third quarter. And the Commanders kind of start making a comeback, but the Cowboys hold on.
All right. Next, we have the Denver Broncos against the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders are a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's just pride at this point for both these teams. The Broncos aren't starting Russell Wilson. I think the Raiders will probably win 20 to 10.
Yeah, Raiders are better. I mean, I had a little faith in the Broncos last week, but they pulled it off. I'm not going to have faith this week. I don't think Jarrett Stidham's that good. I just think that the Chargers are that bad. Um, we're going to go with 17-10.
All right. So then here's a scenario for this next game. You have the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. So the Eagles can't rest their starters because the Cowboys, again, are playing at the exact same time. However, in your scenario about them the third quarter, do you think that they're probably going to bench people then if they know the Cowboys are up by like 20 plus points?
I think that if the Cowboys are up, or I think that who is their coach there at the moment?
Uh,
Sirianni?
Dick Sirianni.
I think Sirianni probably does his best to not say a word to his team and just has them play the way they are.
Uh,
Unless they're really up and just beating the piss out of the Giants, and like I'm talking by a ton, I think he just lets them keep playing. He doesn't say a word.
and what's the favorites here?
The Eagles are a 5-point favorite.
Okay. Uh, Again, a lot of different scenarios. It could happen by the third quarter on whether they're gonna like just forget about this game or not. By the third quarter, I'm gonna say the Eagles win. I'm gonna say it is like 26 to 20, and that's mainly because they're gonna start resting towards the end. So maybe the Giants make a little stride at the end there, but the Eagles still hold on.
I'm gonna say 27-24 Eagles. It was a very close game on Christmas when these two teams faced each other just 2 weeks ago. Um, and that was when they had Tyrod come in without really any working on that playbook. Um, I'm gonna say Philly does barely eke it out, but yeah, I don't expect them to do a whole bunch of the playoffs, so they can't fix what's going on with that team.
Yep. Next we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals.
Um, the Seahawks are a 2.5-point favorite.
And Seattle have a chance, slim chance to get into the playoffs. The Cardinals have no chance of getting to the playoffs. They're playing spoilers here. Cardinals look good against the Eagles last week. I'm gonna say the Cards win to build up momentum for next year. I'm gonna say it is 27 to 20 victory Arizona Cardinals.
Um, everything in me tells me to go with the Seahawks here. I think, especially given the fact that they know they have to win to keep their shit alive. Um, it's not going to be a pretty game. I do think Arizona's starting to play pretty damn good, and that sounds like they're planning on keeping Kyler Murray as of right now. I'm going to say Seattle holds off and does it 20-17.
Next, we have the LA Rams at the San Francisco 49ers.
And it doesn't really matter.
What's the betting odds?
The Niners are a 4-point favorite. Both teams are benching starters.
All right, yeah, 49ers have the number one seed. The Rams clinched a playoff spot. I don't know if they can get higher than what they have right now, but
The Rams can't get any higher than they are. They are the number or the highest wild card to my knowledge.
okay, that's interesting. So I was wondering if
And
someone could jump them because they're only 9-7 right now. But
they're
uh,
only 9-7, but both teams behind them are 8-8.
well, yeah, but the Packers would have a
Oh,
tie.
they're 9-7. The Packers didn't the Rams beat the Packers?
No, the Packers beat the Rams. So that was
Oh.
when the Stafford was injured that week, and they didn't play like they
The
normally do.
Rams have already said they don't care. They've already said they're starting your favorite quarterback of all time, Carson Wentz.
Oh my
What a wonderful game you're going to get here. Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold.
Oh God. I think Sam Darnold is going to look good in that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the Niners. I don't think either team's really going to start many players. Obviously, the big factor beyond the fact that you don't have Brock Purdy, you also don't have Christian McCaffrey. But in terms of depth, I think the Niners have the better defense. Niners 23, Rams 14.
I also think the 49ers will win despite all the resting. I think it will probably be 24-13, 49ers. Next, the final 425 game we have is the Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers.
The Chargers are a 3.5 point favorite.
Is that because the Chiefs are resting people?
The Chiefs are indeed resting many people.
Yeah, I think they won their division officially
They
last
they
week.
have officially locked the division and they can't go any higher.
Can't go any higher, so yeah. I don't know. It could go either way. I'm gonna just say the Chiefs win. I'm gonna say 17-14 Chiefs, even with the rest.
13-7 Chiefs. This game is drizzling dog shit boring.
All right. And finally, the game that everybody essentially be waiting for, because obviously I know this is your team, but obviously this is probably the best matchup of the week for a non-Bills or non-Dolphin fan here. And it was pretty obvious that this was going to be the NBC game. No matter what, it made the most sense on paper once the Dolphins lost to the Ravens. We got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins, 8:20 NBC. We are the favorites here.
The Bills are a 3 point favorite.
Yeah. This is going to be very, very interesting and possibly close. Um, the way I look at it, the Dolphins have been very inconsistent. Buffalo have also been inconsistent, but when they get on fire, they get on fire. The last couple weeks they've been playing close to wins, but then when they go up against these the bigger teams that they have fought, like the Dallas Cowboys and stuff like that, they have beaten them. The last time they played the Dolphins earlier in the season, they kicked their ass. This is a night game, so it's not going to be hot weather, humid, especially since this is in January anyways. I'm going to say the Bills are going to eke it out here. I think they are going to come with reckless abandonment here. I think this is going to be a 31-17 victory for the Buffalo Bills, and they win
I
their
think you
division.
hit it almost right on the head. I think the biggest thing is, and it's the thing, unfortunately, I hate, but everyone's going to start crying. The Dolphins fans are going to be bitching. Well, injuries.
Dolphins are going to be in the playoffs even if they lose this game. It's
You're
Buffalo
right,
has
but
more.
the Dolphins fans will be bitching that they should have knocked us out, yada yada yada. And it's going to come down to the fact that they probably don't have Xavier Howard, their number two corner. They've lost Bradley Chubb for the year. Jalen Waddle for a second day in a row hasn't practiced. That's their number two receiver. Tyreek Hill is still walking around with a walking boot on when he's not practicing. That's your number one receiver. Tua missed the back half of the game last week. There's a lot of injuries in that Dolphins roster right now. And I
And
mean Buffalo's had
the
their fair
Ravens creamed
share.
them too. The Ravens creamed them too. Don't forget.
You're right, but that's the thing. The Bills have had their fair share, but they've worked very well to build a roster to get over it. I'm gonna go with the same exact score you did. I'm gonna say it's 31-17. I think this is the game. Josh Allen woke up during that pre or post game interview last week where he openly admitted I threw the ball like shit, and he did. but the defense showed up, and the biggest factor for the Bills right now is even when Josh Allen's not on his A game, that team is finding ways to win. The defense is showing up, the running game is showing up. I think we're going to see it again here. I hope we're going to see it again here.
Yep. All right, and if that happens, Bills win the division. Dolphins will still be in the playoffs though. They're
Yeah.
already in it. But nonetheless, that was the final regular
What
season.
is the current standing for us?
I'm actually ahead of you. By
I didn't know if I caught up to you. You had been, but you didn't say
I
anything to
caught up.
start this.
Yeah, I am ahead of you in the season. Well, last week I was 12-4, you were 10-6. You had better than you did the week before. But I am one game ahead. You have six more losses though from that bad one you did a couple weeks ago when you were 6-10. But I have one more game ahead.
All time.
No, all time. All time I'm one game ahead now too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. All time you're one game ahead. What
So
are we on the season? How many ahead are you on the season?
um it's at 1/5. Oh, okay. So actually, I'm sorry. According to this, you're actually ahead of me by one. You're ahead of me by one. I'm ahead by you're ahead by one. I'm down by one, I guess.
On the
Less
season or all time?
on the season.
Okay.
And you got more losses though. I don't know. I calculate. That's how I calculated it.
All right. Well, I
I'll
just
make
got to
sure.
beat you this week.
I'll make sure though if it's right or not. But uh, I'm usually accurate on that. So when I calculate it, but yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Um, okay, but anyways, nonetheless, um, what's the you make sure to subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell for the latest content. And yeah, make sure to go to the sponsor. You got the ice cream over
He's
here.
actually on vacation, but hit him up in February. Nikki, two scoops. And hit up our dude Kyle as well at Chicken Dippin', chicken_dippin' on Instagram or chickendippin.com on his website. Use code 716 for 15% off your order. But I think that's it for me, Frank.
Okay. Yep. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Look out for the shorts again. We're trying to get them back up again. And also, again, I do have my Green Bay Packers recap game, which we'll be recapping that Bears game. Try to get it much after the game as possible. If not, it will be later in the night. And yeah, look out for everything that's coming. Uh, that's it, guys. I am the SSL Goku. He's the Rainy 48. We out of here. Peace.